So I'm like, well, experience tells me I have to do some kind of visual. And so my visual for today is actually being recorded on camera. What a surprise. The final chapter of The Art of War places an emphasis on information and developing information networks. The chapter is called Using Spies. But the modern conflict in that thought is our usage of spies today is different from Sun Tzu's concept. He used the character that means a go-between, or literally a conduit of information, rather than someone who goes out and accomplishes missions and collects information for you. The hidden topic in this chapter is using information. There's a popular saying that goes, it's not what you know, it's who you know. Well, Sun Tzu's idea takes that one step farther. What you know comes from who you know. Because real strategic information comes from people around us, developing real relationships with others is vitally important. Friendships provide unique and special information, but at the same time, the promise that information can be kept secret. So you got to keep secrets and confidences, or else what's the point in you even getting information? Special information is useful since it involves finding unique perspective on your situation and leads to seeing unique hidden opportunities. Sun Tzu showed that information even reduces the cost of our moves. Because moving resources and forces to location costs a lot, finding ways to place them better comes at less of a price, as well as in moving situations you are aware and prepared for what you'd be surprised for otherwise. Good information not only helps you see your situation, but leads you to a better understanding of the factors that create the situation and how that leads to the constant changes in your situation. Basically, good information not only helps you understand your current situation, but helps you understand the underlying factors below that make up that situation. Just like when we learned about adaptability, you can continually understand your situation. You can be situationally aware, not just know the situation, but you can be aware of the situation itself because you know the fundamental factors. Over time, good information not only helps you see your situation, but leads you to a better understanding of the factors that create the situation and how that leads to the constant changes in your situation. It's a lot like building a puzzle. We can organize and track our information, and we can interpret how situations can or will develop over time. Because of all of this, Sun Tzu says that you can't put enough investment in the information in your information channels. I mentioned organizing your information, but it also helps to organize your contacts, especially since in the real world we learn about a situation by bouncing off of others almost randomly. We can never know when or how often someone new can come into the picture and share information with us. We have to be ready to listen and organize it. Sun Tzu mentioned 5 types of contacts. Like almost always, the number 5 refers to the 5 elements of a strategic position. Ground information comes from local spies, or people that can help you know the shape and features of the ground, where and what resources there are. The Warriors Rulebook identifies 3 kinds of people that offer this information. Next is surviving spies. These people have fresh or current perspective on the situation and keep you in touch with the nature of the ground and the changes that are going on. One of the books by Gary Gagliardi calls these kinds of people hot spotters. They can tell you and alert you to the coming changes. Information on your competition is key, or key decision makers, comes from inside spies. These people have some kind of contact with decision makers and offer insights into their character. The Warriors Rulebook offers 6 kinds of people that offer this information, ranging from those who have intimate contact to those who have little or no real contact with these people. Basically ranging from, people who keep close contact with them, their friends and spouses, things like that, to people who have who know rumors or history of these people. Information about best practices come from what Sun Tzu called reverse spies, literally your opponent's contacts. In modern terms, we use these contacts for both finding the methods and revealing the information networks of our opponents. But these contacts are generally people with experience working in a given system, like I am at learning and using Sun Tzu's system of strategy. While there are those that solely teach given systems, the best contacts like these are those that are familiar and actually work these systems. Not only are they experienced, but they can give you unique insight into these systems and special tricks for using them. The pattern in the first 4 contacts is that those information sources flow inward. It is important to control the flow of information he who controls the flow of information has great influence on the situation itself. But there is one channel of information that flows outward. Enter doomed spies. In Sun Tzu's day, these spies took information from seemingly legit sources to the opposing general to confuse and deceive opponents. And in today's world, like in business, it is definitely still important to confuse and misdirect your opponents. But since the battleground often is composed of people, it's also important to clarify what your mission is, what your group stands for, to get people to join in on you. These contacts are missionary contacts. These people are those that like your work and support it enough to share it. Having these contacts is very important, especially since having one of these can share and contact many of their friends. One of the reasons why I like promoting feedback from others and letting them know is not only so I can improve my videos, but it'd be worthwhile for them to share with their friends the things that they learn here. Because while I'm not the leading authority on Sun Tzu, I'm basically, restating and rephrasing and specifying in different contexts the things that the leading authority on Sun Tzu says. So, the last thing about this chapter that is very hidden is that the skill of listening is very important because it enhances the other three skills of improving your position. Now, remember back when in the introduction where I had done a full thing about the progress cycle? Well, the better we listen, the better we can aim, and the better we aim, the better our movement to pursue opportunities will be. And the better our moves, the better our ability to claim new positions and rewards will be. Since this process is cyclic, the better one cycle is, the better the next cycle. This topic was introduced in Chapter 8 when I mentioned how adaptability is a cycle that can keep you going upwards or backwards. Of all the things I've talked about the art of war so far, this last part I saved until now, is that it was really written in a cyclic pattern as well. What I mean by that is because while the book ends with gathering information, it begins with putting that information into analysis of competitive positions, obviously meant for rereading. This has been The Art of War Revealed, dedicated to all the other Art of War enthusiasts out there on YouTube. So I guess now it's time for one and final summary. See ya.